It is ski season here in North Idaho. Many resorts opened their doors at the end of November, and so far our snow is much better than last year. I am very lucky that my parents put me on skis when I was little, so I have skied for most of my life. When we were making the decision to move to North Idaho, I was very excited to be so close to such great skiing here in this area. When we lived in Southwest Washington, we mostly skied at Mount Hood and Bachelor, which is near Bend, Oregon. And as you probably know, here in North Idaho, we are just spoiled rotten with ski resorts. We have 𝐥𝐤𝐬𝐬 up in Sandpoint, which is just an hour from Coeur d'Alene, Silver Mountain in 𝐥𝐤𝐤, which is about 40 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene on I-90, and then Lookout Pass is just past Silver Mountain. It's about an hour from Coeur d'Alene. It's really just on the border of Idaho and Montana, east of Coeur d'Alene. There are also two resorts in Washington, Mount Spokane and 49 Degrees North. Both are north of Spokane and within an hour and a half of Coeur d'Alene. If this is all new information to you and you want to know more, go ahead and watch my video on these 5 resorts near Coeur d'Alene. And you can also watch this newer video that I did on what to expect this ski season, 2024-2025. Thank you for watching. I am a realtor here in North Idaho, and I make a new video every week on life and real estate here in this area. My husband and I moved our family to the Coeur d'Alene area from Southwest Washington 2 years ago. If you need someone to guide you through the relocation process and help you find a house, you found her. If you like my videos, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell on for notifications so that you don't miss a video. And I do upload a new video every week. If you want to jumpstart your home search or just chat about what it is like living here, don't be shy. My phone number and my email address are in the description down below. I've also started an awesome newsletter, which includes market stats and local events, and I'm going to include the link to subscribe to that in the description down below as well. Skiing is really expensive. We have 4 kids, so it really hits our pocketbook hard to take them up to the mountain. Between the snow gear, the skis themselves, helmets, lift tickets, yikes. Last year we did some lessons up at 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐬 and they were so awesome. My kids learned so much. It was fantastic, and it also was very expensive. This year, to save us some money, I signed up the kids for the free ski school at Lookout Pass just to try it out and see what it's like. If my kids learn something new and it saves us some money, why not? So when you sign up for the free ski school, you are required to show up at least once in the first 2 weekends, or they kick you out and you lose your spot in the program. Last weekend was the first weekend of the free ski school, and we made it to Lookout Pass and we had the free ski school experience. And today I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm also gonna give you some tips if you are gonna go skiing at Lookout Pass, just about what to expect, or if you're gonna go try out the free ski school at some point in the future. This video is just gonna help you get an idea of what to expect and what to do when you are doing free ski school. The email that Lookout Pass sent out said that lessons were at noon. So I was thinking, like, we'll just show up like 9 o'clock, 9:30, get our tickets and practice a little bit before the lesson. However, the day before this free ski school, I did decide to call and just wanted to confirm that my thinking was correct. And I am so glad that I did. The lady told me to get there at 8 a.m. because it was gonna be a zoo. She was not lying. I took her seriously with her recommendation, and we made it to Lookout Pass by 8 a.m. We got a baller parking spot. We were done getting our tickets and our rentals by 8:45. And I want to mention that they do not have a huge parking lot at Lookout Pass. And when we were leaving, we noticed that people had parked as far away as the freeway on-ramp to I-90. I would not have been happy making that hike to the lodge with 4 kids and all their gear, or back after a long day skiing. So recommendation number 1, get there early to avoid the mess and to get a great parking spot. Also, it's probably not always this busy. I can imagine that day number 1 of free ski school brings a whole different level of craziness at Lookout Pass, and that my experience was not normal. My second tip is to buy your tickets online before midnight, before the day before you go. Doing this saved me $5 per ticket, and all the ticket lady had to do was scan my code, and then they all printed off, and it took about 30 seconds. An added bonus was that my 6-year-old was free, no lift ticket needed for her. If you're going to rent gear, you definitely want to get there before everyone else. We had gone to the Coeur d'Alene ski swap and we had skis for 3 out of 4 kids, but we had to rent for our littlest, the 6-year-old. By the time we were done getting our rentals, the line for the rentals was really long. It probably was gonna take people 30, 45 minutes to get through it. So after getting the rentals, I went and checked the kids in for ski school. They assigned us a lesson instructor in a time slot. The lessons were not actually all at noon like I was expecting. 2 kids had lessons at 9:45. Again, I am so glad that we got there at 8 o'clock. Tip number 3, Lookout Pass's beginner area is awesome and a great place to teach your kids to ski. If you are a beginner skier or if you have a beginner skier, I have to say that I loved Lookout Pass's bunny slope. It has a real lift that goes at a pretty normal speed. And I'm just comparing this to 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐬's Magic Carpet, which is very cool, but seriously, it crawls along and their bunny slope is quite short with that Magic Carpet. 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐬 also has the Creekside Run, which is a beginner hill, but it's a bit of a longer run and it's harder to keep track of multiple children at the same time on that run. So I really liked Lookout Pass because it was like a decent length and I could keep track of everybody. By halfway through the day, my 6-year-old could get on the Lookout Pass bunny slope lift by herself or with a sibling and get off of it with no problem. Another bonus about getting there before the mad rush was having more time on the bunny slope to ourselves. It got pretty dang busy as the morning progressed. Tip number 4, if you don't have kids in ski school, I would recommend not going on the first lesson day of the season. While my 2 younger kids were in lessons, we wanted to do a few runs with the bigger kids, but the line on the main lift was really long and also jammed up with ski school kids who had, understandably, a very hard time getting on and off the lift. The lift has 2 speeds, very fast and very slow, so the process of getting on the lift took longer than I had hoped. We only had a short window to get a run in while my littler ones were in their lesson, which was a bit shorter. My tip here is, if you don't have kids in the free ski school, just don't go to Lookout Pass on the first Saturday of the program and probably avoid the second Saturday as well. I can imagine that as the season goes on, people quit showing up for the free ski school lessons. As for the runs themselves, I didn't get to do much exploring because of the little kids, but we really liked Hoot Owl and Quicksilver. Those were great runs for my beginners. I accidentally took them on Cloud 9 as well, and that was a little challenging for them as it's pretty steep in some places. But they were scared while they did it, but then afterwards they were talking about how much they loved it. So they weren't traumatized or anything. I just was a lot more nervous about them on that run. I also want to mention the amenities at Lookout Pass. They have a cafeteria in the lodge with food and coffee for sale, and they also have this huge separate building with tables, couches, TVs, and a bistro bar area offering coffee and sandwiches. We had brought along our own lunch and made that big building our home base, which worked out perfectly. I had heard from others that Lookout Pass feels more like skiing at a lodge 20 or 30 years ago, and I must agree with that sentiment. It was not fancy, not at all bougie like 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐬. It's also much more affordable with lift tickets at about $70 versus $120 at 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐬. I also want to mention that getting to Lookout Pass is super easy. It is right off of I-90. You seriously just take the exit from the freeway and pull into the parking lot and you are there. What they say about the powder at Lookout Pass is true. It was perfect, not icy, not windy. Again, great for beginners. Some fog, but nothing unbearable. And I'm really excited to go back soon on a day when my kids are in school, so my husband and I can just do some exploring of the trails without little people. What is your favorite ski resort? Let me know in the comments.